outside of major tournaments, international matches are sometimes called tests, friendlies, even exhibitions. A chance for managers to test their side against some friendly faces. But what if those friendly faces end up bringing some of their friends? And those friends just happen to be some of the best players in the world. And those best players in the world end up playing the most exciting attacking rugby you've ever seen. Well, that will make for one hell of an exhibition.
Yes, it certainly is. Welcome to the Women's Rugby Show. I'm Siobhan McCall, he is Adam Zolti, and we are here at Twickenham for England Women against the Barbarians, a historic first ever meeting between the two sides.
Very exciting, very exciting. Now, as you know, we bring you all the content from women's rugby. The biggest game of the weekend is right here. So if you haven't seen the show before, thank you for pressing play. We've got tons of stuff for you. We're going to be speaking with fans. We're going to be doing a big match preview. We'll be trying to get some of the match highlights. And also, of course, our favourite part of the show, or definitely mine anyway, we're going to be speaking with some of the players. Now, before we get into it, if you haven't seen our episode earlier in the week, we actually got to sit down with some of the Barbarians themselves. It's really exciting.
Absolutely.
We'll put the link below, and please do click on that. But before we go any further, there are 4 very simple things that we need you to do. Siobhan?
Right, first of all, we need you to like this video. Secondly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can find out what we have coming up. Follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, don't miss it. And lastly, tell everyone you know about the Women's Rugby Show and how good our content is.
Right, great stuff, Siobhan. Okay, it's time. There is so many talented players in that stadium right now. Hundreds of caps between the two sides. So let's take a look and see who is going to make the big difference. Let's do it.
Right, we are here inside Twickenham. It's a lovely hot day. I'm really regretting my choice of outfit. Black is not working for me.
And a jumper as well.
Yeah, I know, terrible. 2 faux pas. But anyway, let's preview the teams now. I'm going to do England, the Red Roses. What a year it's been for them. Grand Slam champions. They're doing so well at the moment. And obviously this game, a bit of a warm-up for the tour in San Diego. And of course, looking ahead to the World Cup 2021.
Absolutely. The Super Series in a couple of weeks, where they'll be playing the top, the other 4 top teams in the world.
Exactly, yeah. So, England, they have had some injury problems though. A lot of their big names out. Vicky Fleetwood's missing. Jess Breach, lots of injuries. But Simon Middleton has put a really positive spin on that, says this game is a fantastic opportunity for some of the younger players to make their England debut, and 2 players who could be doing that from the bench include Bristol Bears' Clara Nielsen and Harlequins' Chloe Edwards. So it could be a really big day for them too. But of course there is still lots of experience on the field. Captain Sarah Hunter, last time we were here she led England to the Grand Slam, amazing memories. She's got 113 caps, so so much experience from her. She's such a leader, isn't she? Also, Kelly Smith, she's Gloucester Hartpury. She was a top try scorer in the Tyrrell's Premier 15, so she could have a big say as well.
Absolutely, Siobhan. And you talk about experience mixed with fresh faces. Looking at the Barbarians, probably most of them you could say is experience.
Certainly.
So you've got a squad here that have got a total of 944 caps between them. It's amazing. It's amazing. There are some sort of younger faces, but I think what the Barbars are going to bring is that experience, but they've also got sheer quality across the whole park. Right up the front, you've got Rocky Clark, England's all-time record cap holder, male, female, it doesn't matter. She's got an astonishing number of caps. I think it's 137, I believe.
Wow.
You know, you've got World Cup winners left, right, and centre. You've got New Zealanders who are going to make the world of difference. Captain Bindi Itunu, who we had an absolute pleasure of sitting down and talking with during the week, and also you've got Delana Dennison from Australia. So you've got all these incredibly talented players which are going to bring that experience. Now, okay, they may be pushing, with all due respect, their later years, but that just means that they've got the guile, they've got the sharpness of brain to turn any situation into their advantage. If you want youth, if you want excitement, then you need to look no further than the backs. Eleanor Snowsill, who had a cracking game against the USA, which was the Barbarians' first ever international match. They won by 1 point. I think it was the last minute they scored, and they won by 1 point. So they've got a 100% record. But in that game, Eleanor Snowsill, the Wales fly half, she was sensational. It'll be really interesting to see how she matches up against Zoe Harrison for the Red Roses. And Zoe Harrison herself, she'll have something to prove with Katie Daly-McLean out injured.
Exactly.
Zoe Harrison, exactly. So Zoe Harrison, we know, will have a point to prove. She was actually meant to play at fly half for the second half of that Scotland game. I think she had a bit of a niggle, so she hasn't really had a chance to show what she can do in an England jersey. But on the flip side, there's Eleanor Snowsill, who is just an absolute talent. So it'll be really interesting to see how those two match up. Elsewhere in the backs, they've got Seni Naopu, the Ireland legend, who's going to be playing at centre. They've got Tova Dirk, who's a Wasps player. We know, we interviewed her earlier in the season. She's a really exciting player. But of all the backs for the Barbarians, I'm most excited to see Nolly Waterman. We didn't really see her in that semi-final against Saracens because of how Saracens played. But I think today, the sun is shining, she's got a wide pitch, and she really is going to be able to show her skills. And I think she will probably be one of the main differences for the Barbars today. And on the bench, look out for Kayla Aki, the New Zealander. She's never played 15s internationally before. She's a silver medalist from the Olympics, but she is dynamite. So definitely look out for her.
Big claim.
Definitely.
So those are the two sides. It's going to be really fascinating. But Adam, you've made a really good case for the Barbarians. Do you think they're going to win?
Listen, today is, I think as we said at the start of the show, today is going to be an exhibition. So in some senses you can say it doesn't actually matter what the result is. People just want to see fast, exciting rugby. There's going to be a lot of young faces in the England squad, and I think they're going to want to prove a point and show that they're worthy to be in Simon Middleton's squad for the summer series and also for the autumn internationals. But I just think with the atmosphere around the Barbarians, the mystique, it's all about bringing players together from different countries, and I really think that there is something about this Barbarian side. They beat America in the last minute, and I've got a feeling that they're going to take this one today.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to completely disagree. I'm going to back England. I just think they play so well here. It's a massive day for England. Of course, the men's game is afterwards. Fans tickets valid for both games. Fans are already filling up now. I think it's going to be a bumper crowd. I just think England are so good at the moment. They won 15 of their last 16 games. They've just lost the one against France, away to France. I think they're going to have too much, but we will see.
Fair enough, we will see. Right, so as you said, Siobhan, there are lots of fans milling around the stadium. We've given our thoughts, so let's go and see theirs.
Right, I am joined by Matt. Matt, thanks very much. And you're quite a big women's rugby fan, aren't you?
Yeah. I've only got into the game from a women's point of view pretty recently, but it's a really exciting version of the sport. A lot more running, a lot more passing, which is what I like to see. I'm just really excited to see England run out here.
Is this your first England women's game at Twickenham?
This is my first live women's game of any time.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Great. What appealed about the game today? Was it the Barbarians? Or?
It was just, I kind of really got hooked in the Six Nations on the women's game, and it's the first game since then. So as soon as I saw it was a double header, men's and women's, I can't miss it.
Just picking up on what you said there, do you think the fact that the men's game is after is really going to help the crowd today?
I really hope so. I think people want to make a day of it. The weather's beautiful here, so hopefully people will come along early and make the most and see some absolutely fantastic women and absolute legends of the game like Rocky Clark. What an opportunity.
Exactly. Who do you think are going to be the key players for both sides?
For the Barbarians, take your pick. It could be anyone, but I'm guessing El Snowsill will have a lot to say at 10. For England, I think Leanne Riley and Zoe Harrison, they're a really nice combination there, but I always get really excited when I see Hannah Bottrell and Sarah Byrne on either side of the scrum, because those girls can do some serious damage when they pick up that ball.
Certainly can. Who are you backing to win?
I think it's going to be tight, but I've got to back England.
Good. Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Matt. Go and enjoy
Pleasure.
the game. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so we've got a couple more rugby fans here. Now we see a bit of a. I guess you're related.
Yeah.
So we've got Tim, Hannah, father, daughter.
Yeah.
But we've got a bit of conflict in the family.
Yeah.
We've got England We've got the Barbarians.
Yep.
So can I ask you, Hannah, first, do you come and watch women's rugby a lot, or do you play yourself?
I do play a bit, yeah, and I watch as much as I can. Yeah.
Who do you play for?
I play for Southern Rugby Club.
Okay, and what position do you play?
Centre, fly half.
Okay, so just sort of around the backs,
Yeah.
key positions. And is this your first live women's rugby game to watch?
No, it's not. I've seen a couple before.
Okay, so what have you guys been to Twickenham before?
Yeah, we came last week for the Sevens, and we've been to a few of the England games, women's and men's.
Women's, okay,
Yeah.
brilliant. So what are your thoughts on today's game? It's quite unique that the Barbarians are playing both the men's and women's right after each other. So first of all, I guess the question is, do you think it's significant that they're playing so close together?
Yeah, because it's big set for women's rugby that the women get to headline it with the men's.
And from your side of things, obviously seeing both of them play throughout the season, do you think that women's rugby has now caught up with the men's game, or it's catching up? What stage do you think it's in?
It's definitely catching up, and since Hannah's taken an interest as a dad, I'm interested in her playing, and I think it's great as role models for young women like Hannah. We went to the Women's Rugby World Cup over in Ireland last year, or the year before, and that was great, and it's developing, but it's still got a long way to go.
Absolutely. Well, look, let's talk about today's game. Are you staying for both matches?
Definitely, yes.
And who are you most looking forward to seeing from either the Barbarians or England?
For the women's, I'm looking forward to seeing Leanne Riley, because she went to my school and stuff like that, and she's a good player. And Danielle Waterman for Barbarians against Sarah McKenna, that'll be really good.
And who do you think is going to make the difference for maybe we're going to stick with the women's side. This is the women's rugby show, so I can't really ask about the men, unfortunately. But is there anyone that you think is going to make a big difference for either side today?
Jasmine Joyce for the Barbarians, great player, proves that size doesn't always matter. So looking forward to seeing that mixture, as always with the Barbarians. It'd be good to see them throwing the ball around, hopefully. Nice day for it.
It's incredible. You know, the Barbarians, I guess, are known for playing exciting, attacking rugby. Did you know anything about the Barbarians, kind of the ethos, or because of what's happened recently with the promotion, are you getting more of an understanding of what the Barbarians is about?
Yeah, it's great. It's just all it's just messing around, sort of. It's like structured mess. It's just people showing what they can do.
I love that. I think we're going to end that there. That is the best quote of the day so far. All right, so structured mess. Who do we think is going to win today?
I think in the men's Barbarians, in the women's England.
And you're going to get the final say, Hannah, so go on.
Definitely the same as him.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much and enjoy the day.
Thank you.
I'm joined by Scarlett Barber, who fittingly is here supporting the Barbarians today, and it's your first live game watching them, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I do support women's rugby. I always watch the Roses. I always go to the Six Nations ladies matches, but this is my first Barbarians women's match.
How excited are you about this?
Oh, I am pumped. This was my Valentine's Day present from my husband, so I'm really excited about this.
How important do you think it's the fact that the men's game comes after the women's game today to get fans in? Because it looks, it's filling up already, isn't it?
Well, I do believe that the women's rugby isn't taken as seriously because of the prices of the tickets during the Six Nations and the fact that sometimes they don't bother to print out any form of education or even announce the women's names. So I think it's really important that the women's match comes before the men, so that we can get the men in earlier to watch the women to support us.
It certainly seems like that today. Who do you think is going to be the key player for each team?
Oh, that's hard to say. In fact, I'm not going to.
You can keep your opinions to yourself.
I will.
What about picking a
No,
winner then? Pick me a winner.
Obviously, the Barbarians are going to win both matches. My husband disagrees with that because he's wearing an England shirt. But no, I'm a Barber all the way through.
Amazing.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your Valentine's Day
Wonderful.
present.
Thank you very much. Bye.
The last time the women's rugby show was at Twickenham, it was for a very different game and a very different lineup. With no less than 10 players unavailable through injury, and this fixture generally considered to be an exciting but competitive friendly, there was a whole host of new and returning faces to Simon Middleton's side. Some big names start for the home side, including the returns of centres Amber Reid and Lagi Tiuma, winger Lydia Thompson, and second row Zoe Aldcroft. We expect to see the fresh faces of Clara Nielsen of Bristol Bears and Chloe Edwards of Harlequins Ladies off the bench at some point during the match.
World Cup winners, record cap holders, Olympic medalists. The Barbarians have it all. There are 10 members of the squad retained from their 34-33 win against the USA last month. These include Delina Dennison, Fi Fa'amasili, Carmen Farmer, skipper Linda Itunu, Heather Kerr, Steph Te Ahaere Fox, Tova Dirk, Eleanor Snowsill, Jasmine Joyce and England's all-time record cap holder Rocky Clark. They all retain their place in the squad, with Kerr the only one of those starting on the bench. Notable names brought into the Barbars include Red Roses World Cup winners Nolly Waterman, Tamara Taylor, Kerry Large, Georgie Gulliver and Laura Keats, and Irish legend Seni Naupa. With a collection of some of the top players in women's rugby, it's tricky to try and highlight one or two for you to keep an eye on, but do watch out for new cap and Sevens superstar Kayla Aki, who will no doubt be coming onto the pitch to do something special. Lydia, Sarah, first of all, congratulations. Listen, it was, this game was set up for the Barbarians to entertain, but you're not here with all due respect, for them to entertain. You're there to win. So, how was it out there? Was it difficult, or was it a case of you wanted to entertain the crowd, but you wanted to get a result as well?
I think most importantly, what we set out to do was entertain by playing the best rugby that we can, and we're very aware that we're about to enter a really important part of our season, going on the summer series. So we were well aware that putting in a great performance here would lead to good things coming the summer series. So it was really important for us to do stuff that worked well in training, and obviously if that all goes to plan, then I think that's entertaining enough.
Look, you're all here to get a starting place. Let's not make any bones about it. But was this a day with so many names out, a chance for you, especially Lydia, to put your mark on the side and get that starting spot on the wing?
I think it's a really competitive situation we've got in the women's English rugby. There's a lot of talented girls out there. There's a lot of talented girls coming through with TP15s producing some world-class rugby. Other nations are coming to play in the Premiership of women's rugby at England, and I think that's meaning that we're getting good quality rugby week in, week out. And obviously any opportunity to put on an England shirt is an opportunity to put yourself out there and put a mark on the game. But the beauty of playing for England is you never know when your last time is, so you always go out there to show what you've got and what you can bring. Well,
Personally, Sarah will tell you, we've been around for about 6 months now. We've been covering more and more of the women's game. We haven't had a chance to speak with you because you've been injured maybe it's our fault, maybe because of the time that we've been covering the game. How good does it feel to get out on that Twickenham turf again and start playing rugby on a regular basis?
Oh gosh, yeah, I think it's been a nightmare being injured. I've been waiting to get out here, and I think it's a great opportunity to put on a game like this for players like me who, managed to time it really badly. Having an op over Six Nations wasn't ideal, but actually to watch the girls go out there, do a job, shows the strength of the English team and where we can just go out, perform, get a Grand Slam, and then I can come back and hopefully continue to play.
And you've got standing next to a player who got the Saracens Women's Player of the Season and who's had a absolute cracking Six Nations. Just looking at the opposition today, we know what the Barbarians are about. It's such an historic game. Did you feel the importance of it, or was it just another international game?
Yeah, I think definitely you could look across that team and strike fear into the eyes of most opposition. So we definitely were aware of their threats, but I think that's the beauty of Barbarians, that you can't do your analysis beforehand and see what they're going to do. You're always aware of that trick play perhaps coming in. I thought it might be pulled out at the end on that last pen, but it didn't. But you were always aware of what they could do. So obviously I think they were really poised to do it. It was just what we needed before we got on summer tour.
And we were in the Barbars camp at the start of the week and managed to sit down and have a chat with Georgie Gulliver.
Yeah.
She said that she hadn't had much banter from anyone for our old teammates. Did you really want to get out there and sort of give her a bit of a dig when she came on?
No, not at all. I think I think that was what was really important about the game, is that we didn't sort of individualise anyone, and that we did play them as a team and play to our usual structure, and not do certain things because someone's playing this position. I think it was just really important for us to see them as a whole and identify their threats in terms of that. But it was great to see George out on that pitch, out at Twickenham, and I know she got a little bit emotional at the end there, and I hope it's not the last time that she plays for the Barbarians.
From your side, Lydia, was there anyone who you were really excited to play up against, maybe someone who you hadn't played against before?
Well, I felt like the whole back line was exciting. It was awesome to have Amber Reid back. Like, she's had one hell of a season to rehab and get back on in that England shirt, and I think she really put a hand up there and showed what that class she brings. But then the young girls, oh my goodness, it's an exciting time for them, and I think a few of them have really showed why they're pulling on an England shirt and why they're here. And I'm really glad I'm not in the front row. I don't know how they did it when they kept calling for that scrum. I was like, oh wow. And Lark Davis, played a full 80 at hooker. It is incredible, and I think shows the fitness that we've got as a team. So yeah, I was really impressed. Really nice to play with some exciting players.
There's so much talent throughout the squad. Now looking ahead, how important is it to go into the Super Series with that momentum, having won by such a massive scoreline today?
Yeah, I think that's what we set out with from the off. We didn't forget about that Scotland fixture that we had here, only a couple of months ago, and that created momentum to then come into this game, and this game will create momentum to go into the next few. So that was really important for us to sort of get that chance to regroup and come together as England again now that the Tyrrell's Prem was over. So we've been going really hard at it in training. This week's been really, really tough in training, and then to put in a performance like that with that week that we've had behind us is really, really, really positive. Yeah.
Sure, and I think I know the answer here. How do you think you're going to do out in America?
Oh, really positive. I know, you never know the answer, and I think that's the exciting thing. This summer series is so competitive. It's almost like World Cup because you've got some of the top teams. It's 4-day turnaround. It's going to be pretty brutal. So, gosh, I fancy our chances, but I feel like we're going to have to really. Well, obviously every team's going to have to work so hard out there. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Brilliant. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be out there unless someone wants to sponsor us to go.
Yeah.
But wish you the very best of luck. Congratulations for today, and see you at the start of the TP season.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bindi, I'm really sorry. It wasn't the result you hoped for today. It was a tough England side, and maybe the heat of the occasion. Why was it so difficult to play against them today?
I guess in order for us to win, we need a one set piece, and I think it starts up front first. So when we got that right, in the second half, I think we were playing a lot better. But you can't underestimate, we didn't underestimate our England side. They are a top quality team, so they pretty much play good rugby. So I give credit where it's due. They just were better than us on the day.
I know that I mentioned this to you during the week, and I need to say that we need to apologise to Bindi here because we sat down with you during the week, and the footage didn't actually come out. So unfortunately, it wasn't on our footage earlier in the week. But I can ask you today. There's a conversation that we had earlier in the week around England being the #1 side in the world, and you gave me a really evil stare. After playing them today, has your view changed on England? Obviously, New Zealand are always going to be up there, but can England be considered that #1 side, or for you it's definitely still New Zealand?
Sorry, mate. I'm loyal New Zealand. Today, England were the better side, but I think when England meet black friends, I'm going to black all the way.
I thought you were going to say that as well. So, look, from a game perspective, the Barbarians are there to entertain. Is it a little bit frustrating that today, because of the way England played, it didn't really click out there?
Yeah, I guess you kind of expect that because England, they love a maul, and you can't really do much when they're just getting tries from mauls. I mean, that's not really entertaining rugby, but I mean, the ones that win. I guess there were a few patches in there that we did play some awesome rugby, but we just didn't hold on to the ball. But I mean, that's rugby. You can't always expect it to go well. But like I said, what's one set piece, you can't play the razzle-dazzle. So we didn't get to do as much of it today, but the girls still went out there and had fun.
Absolutely. From a personal perspective, How special was it for you to play at Twickenham today in front of 17,000 fans?
You know, it's pretty special because you don't really get that kind of crowd back home. And especially, like, even international games when we have it back home, the crowd isn't that big unless we have a curtain raiser before the men's. But it's pretty special and really special for me because my sister and her family came over. So,
that's lovely. Yeah. That's really nice. From your perspective, we've asked some of the other Barbarians. Would you consider playing in the Tyrrell Premier 15s for one of the English sides?
I don't know, because I did announce my retirement last year. We'll see. I don't know. I've had a few questions around that, but I mean, I'll probably have a think about it. I'm not going to say no, and I'm not going to say yes, but we'll see how it goes.
If you do decide, you can tell us first at the Rugby show. And a couple more questions, just quickly. I know you want to go probably relax and celebrate to see your family. What makes being a Barbarian so special?
I guess it's more like, you know, when you play against other teams, you kind of you look at them and you're like, you don't really know them. You only know them as a player. So you have preconceived ideas about what that person's like, and you're like, I just want to smash them and stuff like that. I guess what the Barbarians does is that, you know, it takes that perception away, and then you get to know the person as a person. And then once you have that, you can just get out there and just have fun and like enjoy each other's company. Like me and Malloy out there, we're like just casual as, like still playing, but we're like just having yarns and having a giggle out there. And I guess that's what the Barbars are all about, is about friendship, fellowship, about camaraderie, and also being able to express yourself with other, you know, players like-minded, and I think that's what's special about the Barbarians.
Brilliant. Finally, last question. What has been your favourite or standout memory from your time on this Barbarians tour?
We had I guess it's just girls coming out of their box. We had a talent quest, and some girls in our team are quite talented, I must say. But you'll probably there's some videos out that may come out regarding that. But I guess that's pretty much our highlight. There's some synchronised swimmers in our team, some rappers.
What was your skill?
My skill. A bit of a Bollywood dancer, so I was like doing my dancing like that. Then I did a bit of Irish dancing with Malloy. So yeah, we have some girls that they don't only play rugby, but they have some talents away from the field.
Multi-talented.
Listen,
thank you so much. It's been great to have you, and obviously to get to know you over the last week or so. Commiserations for today, but you know, thank you for coming to England, and we hope to see you playing here again.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Lagi, first of all, congratulations. You look exhausted, but you came away with a big win today. Mm-hmm. How difficult was it out there against a team full of very experienced Barbarians?
I think you said it there. Very experienced. A lot of flair in that team. A lot of aggression. A lot of physicality. So we knew that that's what they were going to bring. And with 946 caps or so, that's pretty intense to take. But it's one of those things where it's we had to take what our strengths were and put it into the game and utilise that as best as we could, and fortunately we did that.
The Barbarians are known for being an entertaining side, and obviously it's not your responsibility to make sure that they entertain today,
right.
But did Simon before the game say to you, make sure that they're not playing the ball around, make sure that it doesn't really get past the 9 or 10?
Right. For us, mids made it very clear. There's a clear message to us. It wasn't so much what they were going to bring. It was more in a case of what our structures were, play to that, and then on that front we'll entertain as well on what we know. I think from both sides what we have in common is the spirit of the game, so I hope everyone watching did enjoy it, but more than anything it was very much clarity on what we wanted to bring as opposed to what they had to offer.
For you personally, how much does it mean to get back out on that pitch and playing regular rugby again?
Oh, there's no words for it, honestly. I've just come back from a shoulder injury, dislocated it last August. So it means a lot to be in and around the atmosphere. I've been to a couple of camps coming off the injury, and now it feels good to be involved in the mix of things. There's no word to describe it. It's one of those things you cherish for a long time, and for me it just feels good to be in and around some world-class players as well and doing what I love most.
You really made your mark on the game today. Was that just just something to do with the relief of you playing again, or did you know that you're in competition for those centre spots with probably two of the best centres in the world, Rachel Burford and Emily
Oh,
Scarrett?
I couldn't agree anymore. Like, the competition here in our camp is healthy, and that's something that I look forward to. Those two players that you've just mentioned as well are incredible, world-class players, and throughout our camps I look to emulate some of the strengths that they have and put it into my game as well. And they're definitely role models in and around camp. So for me, yes, it is very much about healthy competition, but more than anything, it's about me enjoying it and enjoying the experience as well as I go along.
Absolutely. Talk us through Kelly Smith's try, because we captured it. If you're not following it, make sure you're following us on social media. But your pass was absolutely sublime.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. For me, it's very much hearing the comms from an outside, and we work on these things, like in training and stuff like that. So it's very much me just playing my role and everyone else helping support that. Fortunately it paid off, and I'm happy for Kel. Like, she's been playing incredible this whole season. I'm just glad it paid off.
And looking ahead to this summer, what are your personal goals? I'm sure Simon will say, we go out and we beat all the other 4 teams, but personally, is it for you to play as much rugby as possible, or is it really just a case of sort of contributing towards the team and making sure you finish top of that group?
Oh, massively. I think personally, I want to be the best player I can be, playing my role as best I can, and if that means coming off the bench or starting, that's part of the process. I think for me, it's more of learning from these incredible players around me, and if that means starting or coming off the bench, I'll take both.
Sure. Well, listen, Lark Davies got player of the match for England, but you were the Women's Rugby Show player of the match. You had an absolutely sensational day. So congratulations, and enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Langy. So some really insightful comments from the players there from both sides. It's a real shame that the Barbarians didn't really turn up as much today, but you have to give credit to this England side. They really know how to dig that nail in, and they just have such a perfect game plan to stifling any team, no matter how exciting they are, even the Barbarians. 40-14, the final score. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Siobhan was so excited she had to go. Unfortunately, she hasn't finished this episode. But, of course, there is plenty more content from the Women's Rugby Show that is going to be coming up over the summer. So make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the Women's Rugby Show on YouTube, follow us across social media, and, of course, tell everyone about the Women's Rugby Show. Right, I feel like I'm an honorary Barbarian, so I'm off to see if I can find some other presenters from other countries and we can form our own Barbars team. Anyway, enough from me for now. We'll catch you soon. See you later. Bye.